which I guess that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the tiny little, they look like this. And they're just awesome. They last for like 16 plus hours, like or like 10 hours of charge, I think. Something crazy. Yeah, that's how we, yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Rolling?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
All right.
But it's great for checking levels.
Nice.
And action.
Okay. And we're back, folks. Before we had that brief interruption, I was just asking Jordana how she kind of got started into the vocalist game. How did you kind of find your way and figure out, like, this is what I want to do? And when did that start?
I feel like I've seen so many artists like get asked this as like vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, out of the womb, I've started. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think
My
like
mother sung to me, and I was like,
yeah, like I think unlike a physical, tangible instrument, like it's kind of hard to pinpoint the exact reckoning that you have as a vocalist with your instrument because it's like it's not tangible, it's in here, you know. So I don't know. I suppose like I started doing talent shows and things like that when I was quite young. Like the first talent show that I did was in grade 8 with my friend Vienna. Shout out Vienna, just getting married. And yeah, that was. Do you want to know what song I did?
Yes.
It was a High School Musical.
Really?
It was Bop to the Top.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good class. A good
Yeah.
show. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess like as far as like timeline goes, talent shows like from grade 8 onwards throughout high school. Didn't do any in university, obviously, but from grade 8 to grade 12, I was doing it annually. So that's kind of like the farthest moment in history that I can recall as far as like actualizing the voice, putting it out there. I also did YouTube videos.
Oh yes,
But-
we're all not strangers to that one.
Yeah.
Because we're like, I'm gonna make this awesome person jump and record it, and we're gonna go viral, and then they just got injured, and we're like, this never got any hits. So it wasn't later on. Yeah, this will right now.
This moment, yeah.
So I wanted to ask because like for us, I'm only relating this because like the only art I do is film, but like for us, the minute someone was like, why don't you take this and actually do it in film instead of like, because we began with like watching a lot of movies and eventually like critique them. We're like, I would have done this, blah, blah, blah. And eventually someone was like, why don't you go to school for this and actually film and pursue this? And we're like, what? You can actually do art? That's bizarre. When did you kind of decide that like, hey, I'm going to try to pursue this. I'm going to like sing, get into a band. When was that kind of moment?
The exact moment Renee and Miranda walked into that store.
He said, you can sing. Yeah. No.
Yeah, probably that.
Really?
Yeah, prior to, because I was in university for both of us. I can't remember if it was first year or second year. Doesn't matter. And I was going to school for something totally different, which I'm doing now. I'm a teacher. So I guess like the first time I thought or even considered it possible to be doing it beyond the bathroom in my home, you know, was, when Renee approached me about being in this band.
Okay, that's very good. And like Renee, then I have to ask, like, I assume it wasn't just like you walked into the store and you're like, that person can sing. You said that it was through your now wife that kind of had introduced you to, like, was she like, let me tell you, she can sing in the bathroom? Like, what was the selling point that was like, I have to go meet with her? And I'm just trying to understand how like everyone got formed together.
Yeah, well, I don't know how she met you. I think it was in class, right? And then she had shown me some of the videos that you had put, the YouTube videos. So I saw some of those, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. So then, didn't have any other options, you know. No. Yeah. But yeah, that was really it. I just saw videos. Yeah. So
that's amazing. So Jordan, I have to ask, like, did you since then, because you did say like from kind of grade 12 university, like things took a break. Have you undergone like training, practice to nothing at all? Just natural. What?
No, yeah, like you mean like formal
Yeah.
vocal lessons and stuff? No,
None at all.
no, just
Oh my gosh.
just
I'm
natural.
gonna spoiler alert here. I got to see these folks perform live, and they're amazing. So like, that's amazing. That's so impressive. Like, I wish I had natural talent.
I think like yeah, I think it would be cool. Like I'm not opposed to doing vocal lessons. Like I was in choir, and I was in just choir in high school. But I didn't really learn anything. Like I don't know how to read sheet music. I don't know how to I don't know any music theory, TBH. So, but yeah, like it would be cool. I could see myself doing that at some point just to sharpen some of the technical stuff because I don't know any technical stuff. I'm calling it stuff, so there's the problem.
That's actually the official word for unofficially. I can't even say that before they make me edit it out. So then I have to say, the band recently got a very awesome grant to make brand new music happen. When did you folks kind of like come together to like apply for it? Are you excited for it? And when's the music happening?
Do one of these? Yeah, no, 2 early?
So there's a few questions you had
Yes,
there.
yes.
I guess when did we decide to apply for grant?
Yes.
I think it was last year, so we did apply twice. Got to fail once, right? So when did we? Was it August or something? Like around a year ago, roughly.
Yeah,
No, okay, wow.
So it was like, yeah, we should do this because recording is very expensive. I think we got a couple quotes, like 20 grand to record an album.
Yes, of course.
We don't have that in the band, so that's kind of the only avenue really for us to make music. It was like, well, it'd be nice to get some money to do this, and so that's why we applied. And what was the rest of the question?
And when are you kind of starting your recording? Have you started your recording?
No, not yet. So we're planning on recording in September, October, and probably November as well.
Awesome.
So right now we're just kind of preparing everything, getting things written, and recording October, and then hopefully release it next year in the spring, ideally.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome. Be on the lookout for it. I wanted to say, shy of like literally TV shows, movies, what is that recording process like? Do you folks kind of like practice that? Like for us, like we always have this saying of like, everyone quick throw things at a wall and then we'll decide on kind of like the best idea. What is it like for music? Is it kind of similar where you're like, listen, I have this like beat in my head, or I have these lyrics in my head. What's that process like to kind of make an album?
Are you talking about the songwriting more so, or the recording of it?
Give me songwriting first.
So for songwriting, we often have like a part, or like I'll come up with something on the guitar, and bring that in. It's like, hey, this is kind of cool. We'll jam it out, and it's like, we'll see if you can come up with some melodies for it. You often write lyrics on the spot for stuff as well. And it's like, oh, this part is great, and then we'll see if we can, morph that into a full song, come up with some additional parts, and oftentimes it works, and often it doesn't. And then my phone is full of thousands of recordings of stuff that could have been a song we liked at first, and then just kind of stopped playing it. So, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's just kind of bringing in a part, one of us, and then just building off of that as a group. And occasionally we'll write something just based off of a jam or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Just something that's improvised, but most of the time it starts with a part of sorts.
Ah, okay.
It's always in the space, though.
Oh, this is where all the creative, I can feel it here. I'm getting ideas for films too. So hopefully I don't siphon off the other. I'm just like, there can only be one, and then I just like leave. Yeah. No, that's fascinating. Like the creative spaces also definitely help, and I wanted to ask you folks on, because oftentimes like we find for film, you'll have folks that like are talented, but then you just don't mesh, and you're like, I don't know if it's because like there can only be one director and I don't want to co-direct or anything like that, or most of the time I find that it's because like collaboration is just difficult because you almost like I want to tell you about my idea, but also like I don't know if like we're gonna go with the idea. How have you folks over the years kind of like been kind of more open to, okay, let's hear it. Okay, what have you got? Oh,
That's a tough one.
I know. It's they'll only get harder from here. No.
Oh, good.
I know.
I don't know. I think it's the thing that's coming to mind is like for the first, and like feel free to tell me I'm wrong or like whatever.
Yeah, he's
I
going
think
to throw you like.
I think for I'm speaking from my perspective anyway. So I think for the first half of our time together, it's like 6 years. It's been very just like natural as far as who's occupying what space in the band. And so like, yeah, things were free flowing, but I can't say that I felt super attached to the lyrics that weren't written by me, or even some of the melodies or some of the songs that I didn't really have any input in. They were still fun to like do, and like, you know, obviously I still felt like I was a part of Arctic Wolf, no doubt. However, in the past like 6 years, because I'm just chopping it in half here,
Nice.
I would say like we've kind of, we've grown up and we've started to figure out kind of, again, I won't speak for you, but like I've started to take on the role a little bit more seriously, in that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can write the lyrics now. What does that mean as far as being in this space and like being able to chime in and being able to have a say? Like, I think, I don't know, it's a hard question as far as collaboration goes, but I think that like it takes time and comfortability, and like because we've all known each other for so many years, that helps for sure, but it also is sometimes difficult, you know. With any dynamic, like think about familial dynamics,
Yes,
you know,
of
it's always
course,
difficult.
Yes. Let's
Yeah.
bring those into the mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So speaking for myself, I think that like feeling more confident in like what I have to bring to the table has helped me speak up in this band and like, you know, deliver, you know.
okay.
But I want to hear Renee's answer though, because I don't really.
To I guess TLDR it, as people would say, contributing, and how has like contributions throughout the years, like do you find that it's easier to do now? Was it harder to do when you were first beginning? So is it hard to go like, I'm thinking this?
Yeah, I guess kind of to your point, I mean, yeah, we've all grown up a little bit, and I think we all have more experience playing music and writing music, and because we all listen to a lot of music, I think we've gotten better at writing music, and also I think now the approach that we're taking is we're really stepping back, and some of these songs we've have written for quite some time now, so you kind of get attached to hearing things a specific way, right? And so kind of stepping back is like, is this really as good as it can be? You know, can we maybe rewrite this a little bit? Let's try some new things. Let's just try it. If it's good, it's great. If not, then we already have a part for it, right? So stuff like that, I think it's been nice to kind of grow in that way. And I think we've done a better job at it as a group collectively, and everybody having more input now. Like you said, writing your own lyrics and stuff. So I think that makes a big difference. So
No, that's awesome. I often want to think that like many a times, like for us, it's very hard. We sit in like an edit, and then, you know, friends of ours or people who've worked on a thing are like, hey, so are we ever going to see this? And then we're sometimes stuck in what I call like the horse blinders of like, I just gotta, and I keep tweaking it until someone's like, so we did this 2 years ago, like, is it ever going to come out? What is, like, how do you folks find that when you have created a track, how do you go, you know, that's it, it has to go out? Or do you wait till it's perfect before putting it out?
well, we've got deadlines now. So
That's right, with guys, so like, no more money. You're like, yes, curses. Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point you got to settle on something, right? So, yeah, I think we are getting close to that point now where it's like, well, this is good. We like it. We'll keep it that way. And then other parts, you know, like we met yesterday. It's like, hey, this part, I think we could maybe make it a little bit better. So we spent some time on that, and I think we did. So yeah, but I think at some point, yeah, you just have to kind of accept like this is good, and we should go with that. So as long as everybody is content with it, I think that's kind of the approach we take. It's like
No.
if you like it, hey, I like it too. So good to go.
No, and it's beautiful to know and share just because like we have viewers that are like, what if this is not perfect? Like one of the biggest things that I constantly get, and I wanted to ask you folks about it too, is like I always hear like, oh, I've always wanted to do like film stuff. I'm like, well, grab a camera and get started and just film anything and build it up. And they're like, but no, not until I get this awesome camera, not until I get these awesome lights, not until I get, and before long, it's like I've bumped into this person a year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm like, listen, these years you could have spent filming it, even if it's on like a phone, and built yourself up. But instead, like you're waiting for like the most golden opportunity. Do you find that it's the same for folks that you've met, where you're like, listen, if you want to get into it, just jump, just take the leap? Or is it like, I have to wait till I have the best keys, the best drums, like?
My earrings are really loud.
They are. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, on the internet, I've read that people are from like, am I too old to learn the guitar? I've seen that on our guitar, And then to me, it's like, well, no. I mean, just go for it. Like, I don't know, just buy a crappy guitar and play if you feel like it. And there's so much stuff out there now to learn, even, right? Like, you can watch a million YouTube videos on how to play D chord, right?
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah, that's great. I recommend it.
No, it's fantastic because like it's true with even the promise of like internet and like having access to it. I find like I'm always pushing I'm the mindset of like just go, but I feel like I don't know, there's always this barrier of like, but what if it doesn't sound good? What if it doesn't look good? What if it doesn't this? And like, and that's how you learn, because sometimes you know, like I don't think the first stuff I ever made, even though I'm like trying to like keep it in the box and burn that box one day, have it never see the light of day, like I know it's not the best stuff I've made, but I know that I can go, this is where I started, right? And this is where it all began for me. For someone who's like really worried to get over that hurdle, what advice would you give?
Well, yeah, it is going to sound bad when you start, for sure. At least it did for me. I don't know, just don't stop, I think, is the main thing. For me, for playing guitar, was like, you kind of get to a point, and you kind of get over that hurdle, and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you just kind of do it. It's a second nature. So just sticking with it, essentially, really, for me, anyway, that was it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like just you're growing with your instrument, you're growing with your craft, whatever it may be. And so to embrace kind of the slumps, the humps, all of it, just embrace it all. And it's part of the learning process. It's the same with anything else in life that you're learning.
Yeah, no, awesome answers. I love it so far. This one I usually ask, but like the answers for it are usually people going, why did you ask me this? So I'm going to ask it.
Oh boy.
If you could go back in time without destroying the timeline or anything and advise your younger self before you got into, what piece of advice would you give them?
Like in life or like for...
In life. Let's go with life first, and I'll slowly move it to the band.
Gabby.
I know.
I don't know. Keep going. You're doing great, sweetie. Just keep it rolling. You know? like you're going to be okay. And you are okay where you are in life, you know? Like there's no, stop trying to grab the rung, you know, just be.
To the folks at home, Rekha's finger snapping behind the camera in case, everyone's just looking over there. Renee?
Yeah, ditto. You know?
Keep going, sweetie.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I suppose. Yeah, keep going, sweetie. Yeah, right. Okay. Keep on trucking. You know. Maybe you cut that one out.
No, that's all good. But then also for getting into music and starting a band, I would say. What piece of advice did you wish that you would have had before you started?
in 12 years, you get money to do this,
Ah,
to record. So stick with it for 12 years.
money's on the way. Yeah, that's always that's always the artist one. That's like very like every single time you're like, I'm doing something very creative. You're like, how much money are you making? You're like, that's enough questions out of you. I'm going back to making my art. And they're like, okay, at some point, like.
Yeah, no, obviously not for money. I mean, we're not not doing. No, yeah. I don't know. Like, stick with it, I suppose. Yeah, find some friends. Find people that you get along with, and do it just to have fun. Just to maybe not sit in front of a screen for a little bit. That's probably no. Did I look at you though? But.
He looked at me, so now I'm worried about editing all day. I'm like, oh no, he's right. I'm in front of the screen all day. Then I wanted to say, for us, it's very hard to kind of like share and get critique, but many a times, as I'm sure with writing and everything, like you want to share because then people are like, I don't know, I tried this, blah, blah, blah. How do you folks go about like, when you have something, do you kind of share it to friends and family, other musicians, before you decide and go like, yeah, that's it, get some feedback? Or is it like, the 5 of us have agreed, the council, we're sending it in?
Yeah, like I think for a lot of us in the band, when we have something to share that's not like terrible quality and like complete in, whatever respect, like good enough. At least it's like a 3-minute track, yeah, we share with our friends and family, I think. Yeah, I think it's just good to have like a reaction, feedback. Do they dictate the outcome? Maybe.
Absolutely not.
Maybe
Never.
sometimes. But yeah, I think it's just like a natural thing. It's like you're excited about something, you want to share it with people you love, and yeah.
Nice. Was gonna say, because I just want to know this out of curiosity, how do titles for tracks come to existence? Is it kind of like I don't know, I always think of the Family Guy thing where they're like staring at random objects and they're like, pencil, eraser, head, and they're like, that's the title, go ahead. Is it kind of like that, or does it kind of sit with like, this gives me this feeling? So
our album name, by the way, Pencil.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
In that order.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you said that, that's basically how our band name came to be. Like we were spitballing names, words. We wanted an animal. There you go. You don't have to ask that question now. But as far as like the names of the songs themselves, I for the album that's about to come out, which is next year, it's just from the lyrics. Oh. So it's like a word or a repeating sentiment or a repeating feeling from the lyrics, which I don't think is like a super original answer. No. Yeah.
But I'm always like kind of, because sometimes I'll like sit there, play a track, and I'm like, what is this track called? And I'm like, how did they? And then like, I'm like, and then name has like nothing really to do. Like I never thought like, I think the other day I listened to one that was like, the Super Highway to Love, and I was like, that's okay, cool, interesting, fascinating. Like, are these like thought through, or are they kind of like just like, yeah, I feel like this is what it is. Slap it on, send it.
Yeah, I feel like they're like methodical in some ways, but also really intuitive. It's like naming anything. Your dog, your child,
Gabby.
Your movie, your right, like anything. It's hard. But I also think like, I don't know, it should be intuitive. It's like the first word you land on or whatever, that's going to be the job. Okay. That's going to do the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I wanted to dig a bit and ask these kind of questions. For the album coming up, what do you folks have planned for it? Any titles, names? What's the kind of style? Can you share it, or am I treading on like super like I'm about to get the hook and get sent off? Yeah, snipers at the
run off to
yeah. They're like yeah. This guy has to leave right now. I'm like, okay, cool, that's good.
What can we share? I mean, we don't have like an album name that's set. Like there's a lot of things that aren't set in stone yet. Even some of the track titles, like I don't think we've all retained them to memory. I mean, the style is our genre, probably. Indie.
Oh,
I don't know.
these are all these are all super safe, and like I just realized like obviously with like getting a grant, they probably have to give first listening rights to whoever gives the grant. So I'm now putting them in danger. So I'm going to rein it back.
I feel endangered.
Before the snipers, like it was like, oh no, yeah, gunshots. Oh boy, any questions in the audience?
Yeah. Can you tell us how you came to your genre in the first place?
Well, like heavy metal was out from the get-go. Sad. I don't. That's a you. I don't know.
Well, I think from it is most of the music that I listen to is similar to that, so that's probably it. Yeah, heavy metal is not really in anymore at that time, you know. So.
And that's originally what you...
Actually, no, I mean...
No, hold on.
I listened to a lot of System of a Down. Like, that's actually how I
Okay.
learned playing guitar. But Jordan didn't want to sing that stuff, so... Yeah, no, and Kevin, our bass player, with whom the other founding father, he too listens to a lot of indie music. I think he very much likes the Beatles and stuff like that, so... It just felt natural to make that kind of music, and because we obviously wanted to make something that we'd also listen to, and that's just kind of what we landed on. Alternative indie music, you know.
Nice. I love it.
That's a tough one. We've never really thought about that.
I know. Sometimes we like...
Thanks, Rekha.
Yeah.
Who's your dream band to battle of the bands with?
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Not hoping for a battle.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, we did do a battle of the bands.
Well, musically, then physically.
Yeah.
Like, go.
No, I don't.
I was like, oh, you got one?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Why would I be fight? Let's not fight. Let's not fight.
What? Okay.
World peace.
Very good. I guess what... That's a good one. Because I guess, if you don't want to fight and, music's all about love, that's fair. I'm going to go the opposite and say, who would you love to open for?
Oh.
I know, that's right. Yeah, no, you don't get your question. Sorry.
Ooh. I think personally, Warpaint. I would love for us to open for them.
Yeah, I should send him an email.
Yeah,
That
we
sounds
should write some emails.
I'm like, listen.
Get ChatGPT to formulate one.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
No, that's good.
Okay.
ChatGPT is a good shout.
It's good.
I'm glad that they're in everything now. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to mention ChatGPT?
No,
I feel like I've triggered something. I'm like, oh
no,
god.
it's funny because it's this bizarre era that we're in, and I feel like, and this will probably age me. It's like when the internet was coming to be, and everyone was like, yeah, you can send emails, blah blah blah. I feel like AI is in good and bad, and I'm always worried about it because, like, for creatives, there's two trains of thought. Either they're like, they took our jobs, and like they're going full out that way, or the other side's like, I'm thankful for it because I can run, email questions, hopefully not song lyrics, but I guess it does that now. Sorry. What if?
What if you let ChatGPT write a song?
I think we've tried it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried anyway. Yeah.
And
It's not great,
yeah,
but it's
'cause-
not bad. Just very quickly, like as a teacher, it's really changed. As an English teacher, it's really changed like the stuff we're marking, what the students are writing, what's authentic, what's not authentic. How do we know? We know. It's usually a 6 out of 10. It's not good. And I think that's the same with like any kind of written work that you're asking it to, that's creative, that has to have like a sense of voice in it. It's not good. It might be good one day, which is the scary part. but it's pretty, yeah. Like there's certain words that are always showing up in those essays and those papers.
You're like, you've never used plethora before.
Yeah, you're like, what? That's not. Can you spell that? Like, you
You're
know.
in grade 4. How do you? Yeah. So like, yeah, like.
Barely walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't think it's really crossed our minds as a band as far as it like occupying a space that's scary for us. Like, and maybe we're naive or maybe whatever, but I don't know. I see that it could be really, to use a ChatGPT word, transformative. It could be really awesome and helpful just to get ideas going. And yeah, I like it.
Might run into some copyright issues.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then I want to ask it on the other side. So we have the ever powerful and growing Sora, where that generates video. There are a few that like you type in and go like, I want super sad music, send, and then it will generate a track. How do you folks feel about that end of things? And would you rather it be, because I'm always for like, I don't know why, like I always want a human behind it, because I'm like, it's a human expression, it's creative. I'm sure a machine could feel maybe one day, but like I still want like, you know, the expressive, like you said that like the songs are influenced by you and your experiences. And I don't think something that's been fed all our experiences can really experience. How do y'all, yeah.
So my wife and I were watching a Netflix show. I'm not going to say what show it was, but there's a lot of music in it, and most of it definitely sounds like it's AI music. Like it's just like it's terrible. It's like it seems like they input like a string, like I need a song about a bad breakup, and then the lyrics were literally like, I had such a bad breakup, you know, the stuff like that. So it was like very obviously, it seemed like it was AI music. I'm not going to say the name of the show because maybe it's not, and I'd probably offend the artist.
Oh, gee.
But
we put our hearts and souls.
But it really seems like it is that, and it's not great. At least that's my impression of it. So I don't know. I'd like to think we're creative enough to not need AI to come up with some ideas. Although maybe it's great to get inspired by it in some capacity. But I don't know, making a whole song and stuff, I think it is artificial, and it certainly sounds and feels like it to me personally.
Yeah, I think there's like, if you ask anyone, there's like well, maybe not anyone. Yeah. But like we all like we've been walking the earth for a little while. I think we know what's authentic and inauthentic. Like we feel it, we want that, we want to emit that, you know. So again, as of right now, I don't think AI's there yet. Yeah, you're like, and the big reveal.
And I'm AI. No.
I'm like, oh my god, you were so real this whole time. Yeah, so I think like we're okay right now. We're in a sweet spot right now where we can take from it, we can be inspired by it if we need to, we can get ideas from it, but it can't replicate that humanness in whatever form quite yet. Which is like a win for us.
And that's fantastic because, like I said, yeah, it's like it's this very bizarre two trains of thought. On one hand, like people that aren't creative are like, yeah, I can make a whole song. I'm like, yeah, but you're not really, like, because you're not putting in the training for the guitar or like the vocals or like all the stuff that like helps with the creativity of it. You're just going, like you said, like breakup song, and it's just like probably reading exactly what they said, like she broke up with me yesterday and the sky is gray, and like on loop, and it's probably that bad. But I'm curious about what show it is, and I'll ask you afterwards because now I'm just like, I wonder if I can pick it up, because you were saying like you can pick up in like I assume essays and everything. You're like, all right, Bill, that's enough. Like you didn't write this. Do you think it's ever going to get to a point as a teacher where like you can't tell the difference?
Yeah, I think it would be silly to say no. I think technology is there. So why not? I'd like to believe that, like just contradicting everything I just said. But I would like to believe, like if I'm going to try to be optimistic, that, again, yeah, humanness can never really be replicated, can be, I don't know the word for it right now. I'm on
Just
summer
wait
mode.
till
But
corporations find a way to sell us humanness.
yeah,
and-
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it could get there. It could get close. Yeah.
Awesome. No, I'll bring it back into band talk because I feel like we went on an AI attack there.
Talk more about it.
Yeah,
This is
end
Renee's
it all,
comfort zone.
destroy it. Yeah. I wanted to ask because for me, when I began film, I was doing 9 to 5 and then kind of filming weekends, back forth. What is like the work-life balance like to be able to have a band play, come together, and then also do your 9 to 5 kind of day jobs? How have you found ways to kind of balance it, to kind of meet and to keep moving forward?
I'll make it fast. It's we have a designated day
Oh.
to meet, and it's hard though. Like, we do all have day jobs. So even sometimes that designated day and time isn't always achievable every single week, but we're trying to be diligent. And I think, like, again, I'm speaking for us, but you can chime in as well. This is important to us. Like, making music and being in a space where music is thriving is important to our souls and to us as people. No matter how much you love your job, yeah, it's something we need. So I think that, like, I don't know, the once a week is necessary, vital, important. You're gonna be like, actually.
Well, I'd like to up it to 4 times. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's 5 people that all have day jobs getting together. It's very challenging to get 5 people together. I guess it's like a sports club, you know. Except, no. But I mean, it is challenging to get together. I think now, though, being that we're so fortunate to get the grant, we've definitely stepped it up a bit, and we've been meeting twice a week here. So that's been really great because it's nice to be able to just pick up where you left off. Otherwise, you know, you don't meet for a couple of weeks. It's tough to get back into it. So, and before we got this, it certainly was like that, where everybody was busy. It's like, hey, you know, let's skip this weekend, whatever. But no, yeah, we've been doing well in getting together, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic. It's always nice, like, when things get upped and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do... Oh,
Question, sorry.
sorry, of
No,
course.
Continue.
My apologies. Go on, question.
So, given how much you guys, how long you guys have been together and the work that you put in on a weekly basis, how do you feel about live performances? Like, how does that go for you, for process and, like, practice and stuff like that?
I also have to imagine that, like, with you sharing that, like, majority of the group is introverted, that probably has some sort of, like...
Who's the designated
they-
talker amongst the
Yeah.
public?
Live performances, I think for a time, again, this is where it's like the 12 years are all over the map. For a concentrated period of time, we were doing it pretty consistently. That's actually how we funded our first four. Yeah, there we go. First 4 records. So I don't know, but as far as, like, enjoying it, like, I personally love live performances. I think they're fun. They do take up a lot of practice time. But, you know, I feel like we always have a good time when we do it. It's just, it's when it's not a priority, it's not a priority. If it's like an opportunity that we can't give up, then we'll do it. But we don't prioritize live performances, very much.
Ah, okay.
I think mostly, though, recently, just because we've been focusing most on writing the music, and then with us getting together, you know, here and there, and skipping a few weekends, it just made sense to not play too many shows. I think over the last couple of years we played maybe 2. But yeah, it's just because of that, like, we've just been focusing on writing music and wanting to put an album out. So yeah, it's been that.
I wanted to ask, because we kind of have little rituals that we do before we go on, like, bigger sets. Is there a ritual that y'all have before you go up on stage or to perform? Oh,
I think we tend to get food, so we do sound check, and then we go get food somewhere. And then that I guess I suppose getting the food is the ritual.
nice.
I was just saying, I was like, now's a good time to insert jokes. I was like, cry a lot, you know.
Yeah, just a group little like
Yeah.
cry session. And so we're good. Now we gotta go on stage.
No
Yeah.
food, yeah.
Yeah.
We usually like to like carve out time to fill our stomachs, literally, carb load. Yeah, but also like be with each other before we go up there.
No, it's awesome. It's fantastic that like the friendship. It's very interesting because like I obviously work with my friends to make film happen. Y'all are friends together to make music happen. One question that I wanted to ask is sometimes as we're trying to be creative, we all hit the wall. What do y'all do when you just feel like the creativity is not happening?
Andrew's like smirking in the back. I almost want to ask him.
Yeah.
We move on. Yeah.
Oh. So if like you were to have your once a week sessions and everyone's like, I'm just not feeling it, let's just come back next week? Or do you guys, I guess like, for me, I like to go on walks, and the biggest one is like to read books. And eventually after reading enough things start to flow. I'm like, all right, great. Now we got things going. Is there anything you guys that helps kind of push through? Or is it just like leave it alone, come back to it?
No, I think we just like actually leave it alone.
We don't leave.
That's it.
Yeah, that closet right there, that's the timeout room.
It's where the other members are.
I think we've tried to like push through, literally, and that hasn't worked. So nowadays we genuinely just leave it alone. So we'll like move on to a different song or a different thing or different task, and then come back to it when we can, when we're feeling creatively there.
I guess make people take it home, come up with some ideas at home, bring them back, and then see. I think that's what we're doing tomorrow. I think we tasked everybody to come up with some melodies for a particular song that we're trying to finish. So we'll see what Andrew brings tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. He's actually on his phone right now. Yeah. He's like, like ChatGPT. Yeah. Give me 5 melodies my friends will think are cool. Go. Yeah. I'm like, these sound like AI. Like, oh no. Yeah. Rekha, questions? No?
I guess you guys kind of answered that question, but like, how do you deal with like self-criticism and all that? But do you ever look back into those songs or experiences and go, I will conquer you today?
What do you mean?
Like, is there anything that you're just like, I feel like I could have put this into something else? Maybe there was just like a piece that was like, you had to leave it on the chopping floor. But then you're like...
So you're asking like unfinished works or like tracks that you kind of started, you left, and then you're like, you know what?
Does it ever start to click? Just turn it into something?
Yeah. I don't think I approach it with that much like power, like I will conquer you today. But yeah, if certain lyrics don't work, or I don't compartmentalize with melodies. Like I don't remember what melodies are for what. But like I guess lyrics, because they're tangible, they're in my notes app, like they're in front of me. Yeah, sometimes we have to bench them for whatever reason. Maybe the song itself ceases to exist or never happened anyway. So now I just have a set of lyrics that I still feel strongly about. Yeah, it just depends on whether or not it fits. Like it works with the new thing we're toying with, the melody or music or whatever. But what about you?
Yeah, I've definitely had like riffs and stuff that I've come up with, and then I thought they were really good, and then we had written something, and it's like it never came to anything, and then it was like, well, I'm gonna get that in somewhere else. So then I'll try it out with a new song or something, and it has worked. So yes, I've had stuff that I really liked that we cut, that I've then put into a different song that we now actually have. So it does sometimes happen. Yeah.
No. I think. Oh, sorry.
Do any of your like outside hobbies or like personal interests kind of seep into your music at all?
Like you're asking if we've ever made a movie about like the bear or something, like, because we've been watching the bear for like seasons on end, and so
Rekha's like, the question is not that deep,
Yeah,
Gabby.
okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to understand the question myself, but yeah.
Really? Huh. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Like, again, I think I think I've talked about that input output. Like what I consume bleeds into what I not necessarily write about, but what I think about, and sometimes that makes it into the lyrics. But yeah, I think it has to.
Okay.
Like on paper, my day to night is very different. Like I said, I'm an English teacher. I teach students in high school, and then I like come here and sing a little. But I think as far as like what I'm asking kids to do is more or less what I'm doing.
Okay.
I ask them to be vulnerable sometimes, to get in touch with who they are as a writer, so that they can produce work for me, but also for them sometimes. And so I guess in that sense that like this feedback loop that I keep gesturing with my hands is more or less, like it's all intertwined. I think like the parts of my life, all I can hear are my earrings. I'm so sorry. I'm like, but the parts of my life are all working together in some way.
Okay.
Yeah. Like on paper, they feel very distant. I don't even know if I'm answering the question, but
No.
yes. Okay.
Okay. I got it wrong apparently. So
I'm like, did I just make it too?
I play soccer.
Yeah.
Relates to me playing guitar.
You're like soccer ball, yeah. A goalie, yeah. So that's what I thought the question was. So my bad. But you answered it way better. Of like how everything is kind of like, because like it is interesting that like everyone will say like, oh, like don't let like a negative review impact you. Don't let like a comment, like for us when we had YouTube videos, like don't let a comment impact you. I'm like, but in a way, doesn't everything kind of? So it's like very hard to be like, you know, I'm not gonna let this and let that. Like obviously, if they're terrible things, please don't. But like everything eventually impacts and affects, and then that's where I guess the ideas come from. Like, what about an idea of like this haunted house? Or what about a song lyric about this? Like, so it all kind of like eventually connects to one another. And like with you, I find it like very interesting that like it's like the English teacher by day and then vocalist by night. And like you said that like, yeah, you send your students to be like, or expect them to be, not expect them, I'll say like, get them into a place where they can be vulnerable. Has that been easier or harder for you to kind of do like the practice what you preach for yourself in terms of the song lyrics?
Great question.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, I'm getting them now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I started teaching like 9 years ago, so like not exact same, you know, paralleling of timelines with being a part of this band, but I think absolutely like as I've gotten more comfortable teaching and like, you know, guiding and encouraging that authentic self to come out of the student, like I have to kind of bear that in mind when I leave the class as well. It's like, oh, what does my authenticity look like, and how does that pour into my interests and my hobbies? Do I make space to do things that I love, which I'm asking my kids to do, you know, to have sides outside of the classroom, for them being the student, for me being the teacher. So yeah, I think in some ways, like the more you mature within one realm, it sounds so crazy.
Oh no, I like that.
That maturity kind of
seeps into
your other realms. Yeah, which again on paper feel very distant, but I think are actually just all of it makes up you know. So
I like the hand gestures because I do the hand gestures all the time. Yeah. Too, so I'm just like blah blah blah, move it right along. Oh, sorry.
Renee, do you want to get in that?
No. That's awesome. Rekha, any questions?
I guess, do you have a dream venue?
Ooh.
1,000 points if it's in Canada because we're local.
Oh my God.
But however, like, do you have a dream venue? It can be anywhere in the world, but.
It's called Massey Hall, I think.
Massey Hall. Yeah. That's a good shout. Joy?
Not really. Not venue specific. I think it'd be cool to like play in New York. I think it'd be cool to play in
Ooh.
Montreal. I think it'd be cool. Yeah, capital X, yeah. But I think it could be cool to play in a city that we admire and that is bigger, you know.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, what's that? I always think of the saying, like, is it a prophet's never honored in their homeland? That they always use of, like, bands will, like, and I'll get your 2 cents on this, but I'm often told that, like, bands, singers, everything find more success when they kind of leave their city and then tour around, and then their city is like, they're us, that's us. Meanwhile, you're like, where was this when I was here, like, for 10 years? Do you find that to be the case, or is it, like, kind of like the fans and the love is, like, it's been fantastic, and it's, like, getting to the point where, like, cities love their own bands, singers, and groups?
Well, to be fair, we haven't played too much outside of Edmonton. I think we played to like 3 people in Calgary once, one of whom was the sound guy and the bartender.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think like we have pretty good support. I feel like in Edmonton, so when we play shows, people come out, which is really awesome. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to tour more, I guess, to find out to give you a better answer.
Is there a plan to in the future?
No.
Well,
I mean, like, no, not touring, but I mean, once the record's out, obviously.
Yeah, we're gonna
play
try
some
to
shows.
play some more shows for sure.
awesome. Do you, with making the record happen, do you have venues planned to play at? Because I have to say, the last time I saw y'all, by the way, when they're due, please come out. It was amazing. I loved it. I don't know why, like, I always go there and I get nervous on behalf of my friends doing anything, even though, like, if I go up there, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. But then when it's my friends, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I hope it's great, even though I know it will be. And then as soon as you start, I'm like, thank
It's like
God.
you wanna be there for them. You wanna be like, if you need me to hold you, I can hold you. You need my hand.
Yeah.
I will grow 4 more for you.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Like, literally, so nerve-wracking. You want your friends to do so well because you're like, oh, we're not even that close yet, but this is my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love them. But, like, I always, like, have this fear of, like, as soon as someone's about to talk, lights are gonna go out. Like, it's just, like, the disaster. And I guess that's what helps me, like, calm down. So I'm like, well, that didn't happen, so the show's gonna be great. Yeah, sorry, I went off a tangent there. But, like, do you have kind of venues planned for when the release is happening?
I think that's a little far ahead yet, because when we still have to record, and then we gotta get everything mixed and mastered. We want to get some vinyls pressed. So I think when we maybe get closer to a release date, I think we'll start looking into booking some shows. I don't know. I guess Starlight or Temple or something like that would be great. I think the Aviary would be a nice place too, maybe for the release even.
Ooh.
Yeah. Otherwise, no, we don't have anything specific picked out just yet.
Beauty. Cool. We're going to give you one quick moment, because I always love to ask this question of, like, if you could throw it out there to manifest, to happen in the future, what would you like to be on, work with? Throw it out there. Let's just toss out to the audience.
Wow.
I know.
I don't. It's like, I don't know. Just like, we're very happy to be like supported by the grant right now. So hopefully the record is what we want it to be, and I think we're in good hands there. And yeah, just like keep playing music. This is not the answer you wanted, but like I'm like keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just
like
keep
keep
swimming,
playing music, keep loving it, and yeah, I don't have any like tangible. You can do it.
No.
Where do you see our good wolf in 2025?
That's right. In 2030, in the year 2100. I don't know. Just like throwing numbers at you. No, but it's just kind of like, what if you had one wish for the band? What would it be? Like, would you love to? See, there we go. That's a good one. Yeah, just manifest it. Toss it out there. All right. To wrap things up here, I'm sure that everyone's kind of like antsy to move right along. I just wanted to ask you folks, and thank you first of all for joining us today. This has been awesome. But where can the people at home find you?
Thank you for having us, Gabby.
Yay.
And Rekha.
Yay.
This was fun.
Yay.
You can find us everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you can stream music. That's where you can find us.
Nice.
But watch out for us in 2025.
Oh, yeah. Album coming soon because I can't tell you what it is because I love these people.
But the new music will be out next year.
No, beautiful. But as always, folks, this has been On Location. I'm Gabby. Rekha's been behind the camera. And this has been Our Good Wolf. And we'll catch y'all next time.